Hello there, Year 3, and welcome to the Set B set of questions for fossils. So, as usual, for Set B, we're going to go straight into the questions and how to achieve full marks. But if you did need me to repeat reading the text back to you, just tune back into the Set A video at the beginning and you'll see me reading that back to you. Otherwise, I'm going to go straight into the questions and answers. So, here we go. Vocabulary, question 1. Look at the section of text beginning, "Do all living things turn?" Find and copy one word similar in meaning to the word rotting. Look at the section of text beginning, "Do all living things turn?" Find and copy one word similar in meaning to the word rotting. So I need to look back at the section of text beginning, "Do all living things turn?" So I'm going to look back to that now, and I'm just going to see there that it's near the end of that paragraph. There is a word there that does mean the same thing as rotting. It is decomposition. Decomposition, that is the word we are looking for, so decomposition. So all you need to do is find and copy that word, write it down, and you are good. Right, question 2. In the section, "How do fossils form?" it says, "Scavengers may come and eat some of the remains." What does the word scavengers mean in this sentence? In the section, "How do fossils form?" it says, "Scavengers may come and eat some of the remains." What does the word scavengers mean in this sentence? So scavengers, okay, basically a scavenger is any sort of animal that would eat the remains of something that's died, okay, so it could be like a plant or an animal. So basically, scavengers are basically any animal that feeds on dead plants or animals. That would get you the mark there. Okay, so that's what I wrote down. Right, question 3. It's down to a combination of uplift, weathering and erosion plus luck. In this sentence, the word combination means tick 1. In this, it's down to a combination of uplift, weathering and erosion plus luck. In this sentence, the word combination means tick 1. So is it jigsaw, plates, fortune or mixture? So as usual, I'm going to use my trick of replacing the word combination with all 4 of those and see what makes sense. It's down to a jigsaw of uplift, weathering and erosion plus luck. Definitely not, that doesn't make sense. It's down to a plates of uplift, weathering, erosion plus luck. Nope, didn't even like reading that one, it sounded awful. It's down to a fortune combination of uplift, weathering and erosion plus luck. That doesn't sound right either. See the last one, mixture. It's down to a mixture of uplift, weathering and erosion plus luck. That's the only one that actually makes grammatical sense, isn't it? The other 3 don't even work in that sentence. So the only one it can be is mixture. But actually that is what combination means, isn't it? It's a mixture of those things, isn't it? Okay, so there you go. Right, question 4, retrieval. Give 2 examples of trace fossils. Give 2 examples of trace fossils. So I need to find the bit that talks about trace fossils. So I'm just going to look back through. It says there just above the does everything fossilised section, just above that, the sentence just before that, it says, "Dinosaur trace fossils include footprints, imprints of their skin or feathers and poo called coprolites." So what's the question asking me to do? The question wants 2 examples of trace fossils. I just need any 2 of those, don't I? Any 2 of those will get me the mark. Okay, any 2 of those. So any 2 from footprints, imprints of their skin or feathers, poo or coprolites, anything like that. Any 2 of those will get you the mark, isn't it? So just 2 of those, you don't need all of them, just the 2 will get you the mark. So there you go. Question 5. What happens to most things that die? What happens to most things that die? So again, this is something that we are retrieving from the text. What does it say in there? So I need to find something about most things dying. There it is. It's in that does everything fossilised section. Most things that die rot away completely, leaving nothing behind. I'd literally copy the entire line. That entire line is going to get me the mark. Okay, that is perfect. A perfect answer retrieved from the text. Most things that die rot away completely, leaving nothing behind. I would literally write the entire sentence. That will get me the full mark. That has shown that I know where it is in the text. I've used the same wording. There's no way anybody marking that could not give me full marks for that question. So I've copied the sentence, retrieved, pulled, written down, okay? There you go. Question 6. Look at the paragraph, how fossils are formed. What is the body of a creature or plant buried by? Tick 1. Look at the paragraph, how a fossil is formed. What is the body of a creature or plant buried by? Tick 1. So is it buried by water, minerals, leaves or sediment? So I'm going to look back through the text now and see what I can find. So what is it buried by? So looking at the paragraph, how a fossil is formed. So it says there quite clearly, point number 3, it is buried by sediment, mud, sand or silt. So the answer is sediment, isn't it? It's literally going to be sediment. That's the only one that is there. It's not the mud, sleet or anything like that, which is, it is sediment, but that's not an option. I've only got an option to tick, and the option to tick is going to be sediment. That is the one I'm picking. Right, question 7. What slows decomposition once the remains are buried? What slows decomposition once the remains are buried? So what slows decomposition once the remains are buried? So I need to find something about decomposition. That's going to get me the mark. Scanning through. It's just there. I can see it. It's just above the how do fossils form section. And it says there, once remains are buried under sediment, their decomposition slows down due to a lack of oxygen, giving enough time for fossilization to occur. So what slows decomposition is going to be oxygen, okay, or a lack of oxygen, either one of those, but oxygen is going to be the word that gets you the mark there. So I've just written down oxygen. If you wrote a lack of oxygen, that's probably actually even better than mine. So yeah, a lack of oxygen or oxygen, that's going to get you the mark, okay. Right, inference, question 8. Read the paragraph on uplift, weathering and erosion and complete the table below. So I know where I'm looking. Read the paragraph on uplift, weathering and erosion and complete the table below. So I've got what causes uplift, I've got what causes weathering and erosion, and I need evidence for both. So I'm going to look back through the text. I'm looking for some evidence for what causes uplift and what causes weathering and erosion. I'm looking in the uplift section. So just reading here, I've got something about what causes uplift. It's going to be that section just underneath the plus luck bit. The Earth's surface is broken up into huge, irregularly shaped pieces, tectonic plates that fit together like a jigsaw. These plates drift around very slowly, driven by heat from within the Earth. In certain parts of the world, these plates will collide. So basically, what causes uplift is caused by the Earth's plates colliding, isn't it? Okay, those tectonic plates colliding, and it says there that it can force rock together and push them upwards. That is the uplift that it's talking about. So literally, I've written the Earth's plates collide. This can force areas of rock together and push them upwards. That is going to be it. So I've basically paraphrased what's in there, but I have basically used the text. So the Earth's plates collide. This can force areas of rocks together and push them upwards. That's my evidence, and that's going to get me that one. Underneath, I've got what causes weathering and erosion. So I need to look at something about weathering and erosion. It's that little sentence on its own underneath the paragraph. It says there, uplift is only part of the story. Weathering and erosion from wind, rain, ice, heat and rivers break rocks apart and wash the fragments away, leaving fossils exposed. So what causes weathering and erosion? I just need the bit that causes weathering and erosion, not the whole sentence. What causes weathering and erosion? Weathering and erosion from wind, rain, ice, heat and rivers break rocks apart. That is going to get me the mark. That's all I need from that. I just need weathering and erosion from wind, rain, ice, heat and rivers break rocks apart. That's what I've written down. That's the evidence I need. It answers the question, what causes the weathering and erosion? It's those things. Okay, question 9. Meaning as a whole. Draw lines to match each statement to its main content. Draw lines to match each statement to its main content. So we've got introduction, why we find fossils, how do fossils form, and does everything fossilise? So actually, these sections are literally the subheadings, aren't they? We've got all of these. The introduction we know goes where in a text? At the beginning, thank you. At the beginning of the text, we know that. And then the others are all clearly labelled, aren't they? Why we find fossils, how do fossils form, and does everything fossilise? That's all in the text, isn't it? So all I need to do now is read the other statements and see what matches up. So let's have a look. So we've got remains are buried by sediment before they disappear completely. We've just read about the sediment, so that one is going to be which section? That is how do fossils form, so I'm going to link it with that one. How do fossils form? Next one down is a description of different types of fossils. Well, that's in the introduction, isn't it? That was literally starting it. That was beginning that bit, so that's going to be the introduction, so I'm going to join that one up. Movement of the Earth's plates causes fossils to come to the surface. We've literally just talked about that one in the previous question. We know that's going to be the last bit, why we can find fossils, so that's going to be the why we find fossils one. Draw the line to that one, which means the last one at the bottom. Fossilization is a very rare event. That's going to go with does everything fossilize at the bottom, isn't it? Okay, so as you can see, this is how it should match up. Right, question 10, predict. So we need to predict, why is the discovery of fossils important to historians / those who are interested in the past? Why is the discovery of fossils important to historians, those who are interested in the past? Now, interestingly, it doesn't seem to mention anything in this text about historians, does it? So this is one of those ones where it's a prediction question. I know lots of us are really finding these tricky. Lots of us are either leaving these questions blank, or we're just not really attempting, or just giving the bare minimum for this one. So again, if you do need some guidance on this one, that's absolutely what I'm here for. So predicting. When we predict a question, if a question needs us to predict something, it means you need to think, okay? You need to think about what you have read all together, put it all into your mind, and try and write down something that answers that question. It must answer the question. So what was the question? It says, why is the discovery of fossils important to historians or those who are interested in the past? So have a good think. Why do you think the discovery of fossils might be important to those historians or people who are interested in the past? What might that do for them? What might it help them with? Okay, that's how you form your answer. You need to think about that. Okay, so I've actually written a few different answers on mine, so I'm going to read you what I've got. Here's my main answer. This is the main one I went with. So I said, because fossils give historians important information about creatures and plants that lived long ago. So fossils give historians important information about creatures and plants that lived long ago, because again, plants can become fossils as well. So that way it's quite clear that we can learn from things that were in the past. Through fossils, we actually discovered the dinosaurs, so it's very important to historians, isn't it? We wouldn't have known about that if not for fossils. Another answer you could have had was because they can help historians find out about different types of dinosaurs, because that's again how we discovered different dinosaurs. And we've also got another answer you could have had was because they can help historians to understand what was alive on the planet at different periods of time. So again, it's showing that we know through the fossilization process, de-aging back the fossils, you can tell how they were formed. So again, it was a tricky question to predict, but again, always give it a good go and you should be fine. So thank you very much, everyone. That is going to be the last of the pixel text that we're going to do for this term. Because as I've said, I've had to share the other ones out. But yeah, it's going to be that we're going to have one video per week as of next term. And yeah, it should all be fine. We're just going to have some other types of reading comprehension to do. But again, if you need anything, do let me know, and I will be there to help and support. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching all my videos this term. I really do hope they've been helpful to you. And again, I will have some more next term. There'll just be less of them, but you are still going to get some support from me in this style. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Have a wonderful half-term break when we get to that time. And yeah, keep up your reading and keep on asking lots of questions or getting people to ask you questions about what you're reading, because that is how we support our comprehension skills. So thank you very much. Take care, and I will see you next term.